And we are back with another BS episode. How are we all doing today? Um, yeah, we got some cool convos with the Muskers, Elon Musk, the Musketeers. If you guys are brand new to the channel, make sure you guys do consider subscribing, leave us a comment below, smash that thumbs up, do all that crazy stuff. And make sure you guys do check the description out for Buzz TV. I took over the whole Buzz TV thing.
This was not discussed.
This was not discussed. It just kind of happened. Check out Buzz TV in the description. They got some cool stuff, some cool devices. And if you don't know now, you know. All right, what you got?
Muskers. If you don't know, now you know. Muskers. No? That's not how it goes? I don't know. I mean, you can say whatever you want. Or can you?
Or
and
can
if
you
can't, then maybe you need a VPN.
Oh, man.
But you got to protect yourself before you wreck yourself. VPN in the description below has some great discounts, some great deals. Also has some great features, including control tower that helps you block advertisements. It helps you do parental controls and a bunch of other things, like blocking social media sites and all kinds of stuff. So make sure you check it out. It's kind of cool because you can control it from your phone. So if you set it up on a device, a computer, or whatever, you can log in from your phone and say what you want to block on the devices that it's connected to. So make sure you check it out in the description below.
Yeah. So we got I'm going to start calling you guys the Musketeers. It's funny. The Musketeers. Here we go. We got some cool stuff that's happening over there with the Twitter realm. Kind of interesting with everything, I guess, with like the technology and like all that crap. So what do you got, dude? What's happening with Elon Musk at Twitter?
So exactly how you just indicated, SpaceX, like the flying motion that you were just doing, some people are using the analogy of SpaceX to compare it to Elon's takeover of Twitter. And what they're comparing it to is SpaceX, in its majority of its lifespan, was not profitable at all. And all they did was spend millions of dollars and do big explosions. And they just kept failing and blowing up and failing and blowing up and failing and blowing up until it became successful. And right now, with the takeover of Twitter, we are in the infancy stages. I can't say the word, so just fill in the blanks of the failing and blowing up. So what we're seeing is Elon wanting a social platform that connects everything together. Everything from payments, because he did help build PayPal, which is one of the largest payment systems in the world. Mm-hmm. He is working on a whole bunch of innovation bullshit. Like, there's so many things, to products and services that'll change how society is, will change where society is, potentially on Mars, who knows, to random ass things like selling flamethrowers and digging tunnels under LA. Uh-huh. He is the epitome of, if an engineer had enough money, could they fuck around and find out? Well, he's going to fuck around and he's going to find out.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's just interesting how the whole deal went through. He said that he was going to buy it, and then he said there's more than 20% of the users on Twitter as bots. And he's like, well, I don't want to give you a $54 per share evaluation if most of your users are fake. And the executives at Twitter were like, nah, there's less than 5%. whatever. And then reports started coming out saying that it was like more than 20%. So then they went back and forth, and Elon tried to back out because he didn't want to buy it for that amount, and they couldn't prove that less than 5% were bots, right? I mean, it sounds realistic. And then eventually they went back and forth for a while, and he's like, you know what, fine, I'll just buy it. And he sold a lot of his shares in Tesla to get the money in order to invest, as well as there was a lot of money that was given to him from friends and like random billionaires were like, yeah, I'll toss some money into this. And it's just crazy to see the evolution. Like he walked in, I think he walked in carrying a sink, a kitchen sink or something, didn't he? Did you see that? Okay,
No.
well, let me see if I can find that because that was interesting. Okay, so Elon sink. Yeah. So here it is here. Hold on. I'll pull it up on the screen so you guys can see the sink that he walked in with.
Wait for it, guys. It's coming. So he walked in with the sink at work?
Yeah. So here it is here. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Present. Share screen. Share screen. And here it is. This is him walking into Twitter with a sink.
Why?
Read that.
That's stupid. Let that sink in.
Entering Twitter headquarters, let that sink in. So they let that sink in because he walked in with the sink. The sink was let in.
Wow.
He's a walking friggin' meme. And if you go to his profile, look at his handle on Twitter.
Twitter complaint hotline operator. Wow.
It's changed a couple times too. So, and look, this is his picture. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Is that his baby picture?
I don't know.
It looks like it. That's pretty funny. So here's a tweet that he actually posted an hour ago. It says, please note that Twitter will do lots of dumb things in the coming months. We will keep what works and change what doesn't, which I think is great. Like, you have to be willing to F around to find out what works. You do.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be willing to try some crazy shit if you want to be innovative, right? Like, people probably didn't know that there was anything else in the sky besides the moon and the sun, but they wanted to try something crazy, and they effed around and they found out that there's other planets and solar systems and everything else out there, right? And potentially in the future we could be living out there instead of living here.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to do some pretty crazy things, and you got to go beyond to really figure that shit out. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. So some key takeaways from an article that I was reading today. It says Elon Musk, so when he took it over and he actually went in there, he fired everybody. So all those executives that were like, oh, we only have 5% bots, he was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. And then he took over the ownership, and he walked in and he laid off 3,700 employees. That's a lot of people, bro.
It's a lot of people.
3,700 employees for Twitter. And then it says those that are left have reportedly been urged to work 12 hours a day, weekends, to make the service changes that he's demanding. So he's demanding certain changes, and they all have to work overtime to get it done.
Wow.
Which is good. Like, you want to see someone that comes in and they get shit done, right? Because let's be honest, Twitter's been around for a while, but it's not a place where it's just like, oh, I'm excited about it. Who's really excited about Twitter?
Nobody.
Like, Twitter's cool because you can find information, but you don't open up Twitter because you're like, oh, I'm excited about it,
Yeah.
about the changes and about the features. Like, nothing's really changed with Twitter ever since it came out. Like, there's always been that limit of how much you can type. You can never edit your shit. They tried to do live video with Periscope and that failed. Like, they didn't really, there's not a lot of features with Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So lately they've tried to add features, and they had like a paid version of it, but there wasn't really a reason to buy Twitter Blue. No one really cared. It's like they came out with Twitter Blue because YouTube had a red.
Mm-hmm. Like competition.
But there wasn't any competition. It's like, why? Who cares?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll keep going on the boards. It says several large advertisers have pulled ads from Twitter amid concerns that Musk will relax its content moderation policy. So this is a very interesting thing. A lot of people have been saying if he lifts the ban on Donald Trump, they're going to leave. Who cares?
Yeah.
The other thing is they're saying that if he removes the certain bans from certain people, then advertiser might start pulling out of the platform, right? So that is a concern because as a platform, you do want to be profitable, right? Like Elon Musk, like, yeah, he does a lot of shit that is counter profitable until it becomes profitable. So there is that kind of transitional period where we have to figure out how to become profitable. And in the pursuit of profit, there is a lot of expenses that will get burned. That's the bottom line for any business, right? There's marketing budgets and development budgets and like all kinds of stuff like that, right? So that is going to be a growth period. There was another article, I think. Here's an article that says Musk to meet with Twitter advertisers after a name and shame warning. So it's like the advertisers have threatened a thermonuclear name and shame campaign against advertisers that abandon the platform. He still needs their money, so he's threatening advertisers that are going to pull out if he starts to make these changes, right? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Musk has offered all the users Twitter verification for $8 a month. So here's the thing, and I want to say this about YouTube too, right? With all social platforms, verification should come with users should verify the content creator. Like, you shouldn't have to apply or pay or do something like that. Like, if you get a certain amount of views, if you get a certain amount of followers, if you get a certain amount of votes from the platform, then you should be verified. Why should you have to pay for that? Because it's in the platform's best interest to have as many verified users as possible. It builds the platform's like how trustworthy the platform is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The more verified users you have, the more you trust that platform. The same thing goes with paying to use a platform. Like, if I'm going to get, for instance, YouTube Premium, right? But I'm a content creator, then YouTube Premium should come out of my AdSense and it should be discounted. I as a creator am giving the end users a reason to use that platform. And if I'm giving them a reason to use that platform, then they should give me perks of that platform for my personal use. That's how I feel about that. So if there is a Twitter Blue or a verification price, that should all be eaten up by some kind of algorithm that justifies the traffic that you bring to that platform. That's how I feel about that. And then I feel like that about all social media platforms. It could be Facebook or Meta or Instagram or YouTube or Twitter. I don't care. But there should be some give and take, right? So, for instance, YouTube takes 30% of our revenue. Well, if you're already taking 30% of my revenue, why are you going to ask me for $10 a month for YouTube Premium?
Yeah.
If 30% of my revenue is $1,000 a year, even if it's $200 a year, you know what I mean? Like, justifiably so, I'm bringing you two things. I'm bringing you eyes to watch the advertisements, and I'm bringing you a reason for advertisers to advertise on your platform.
Yeah.
What does it really cost you to remove the ads on my videos that I can watch on a personal use? So that's kind of what I take on that one. It says Twitter has paused other verification policy changes until after November 8th US elections, which you guys are watching this after that. So I'm sure there's more news that's coming out as this unfolds. Musk told civic leaders that the policies, like the suspension of former President Trump accounts, won't be reversed until the review by the new advisory panel in the coming weeks. So, yeah, it was a $44 billion buyout on October the 28th. And as you saw in the video, he walked in with a kitchen sink because he wanted everyone to sink in what was happening.
So stupid.
He fired the company's top executives and dissolved its board, taking control as Twitter's sole director. Laid off some 3,700 Twitter employees, accounting for half the company's workforce, and citing losses of more than $4 million per day. So he's saying these 3,700 people were so useless that it cost the company $4 million a day.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's nuts.
And 3,700 employees later, the company hasn't went up in a big fiery ball of flame.
Yeah.
So justifiable? Not sure. $4 million a day is a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of money. Just saying. What were you doing? And why are we still functioning and just like we were a month ago?
Yeah, no kidding. How did we function like this?
So I'm not saying that I agree or disagree. I'm just saying Twitter's still moving on like it's regular business, and we are saving $4 million a day as a company. Sounds pretty good to me. Blamed the massive drop in revenue at Twitter since he bought it on activist groups pursuing advertisers, tweeting that the activists are trying to destroy free speech in America. Interesting.
Yeah.
He announced Twitter would permanently suspend accounts engaging in impersonation without clearly specifying that they are a parody. So if you have an Elon Musk Twitter handle with a 0 instead of an O, you are going to get permanently suspended unless you clearly specify somewhere that you are a parody of that account. Like you are not the real person.
Yeah.
Which that's such a simple thing. Why couldn't they do that before?
It should, yeah, there should be like almost like a drop down option when you're setting up your account.
Like a title or something.
Yeah.
Like yeah, something. You know what I mean?
Like this is me. Yeah, this is me, he, him, her.
Oh my God.
Then now we're starting a whole freaking oh shit, don't get me started.
Pick your gender and your role.
Yeah, pick your ginger.
Let's see. It says the employees who weren't axed were reportedly instructed by managers to work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, to overhaul Twitter's verification system in a week as Musk demanded. Musk also asked some 50 Tesla employees to review Twitter's software code, according to the same report, despite the fact that the maker of the electronic vehicles is separate publicly listed company. I mean, that makes sense. He has successful business with very smart people in it. Why not leverage your people, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. By November 6th, Twitter was asking dozens of workers laid off 2 days earlier to return, which, you know, you have to evaluate. A layoff doesn't necessarily mean that you're shit. It just means that we have to reevaluate your position, right? Twitter has since offered to verify any account's identity for $8 a month while delaying any changes for those already verified until after the November 8 elections. Now, maybe it wasn't the right decision, but it was something that could be actioned right away. And what I mean by that is because there was so many fake accounts, the quickest way to separate who's hot and who's not was the bots. They wouldn't be paying $8 a month. You know what I mean? If you like, it's really easy. If this verification is that important to you right now, then pay the $8, and then you don't have to worry about all the fakes and the fraudsters.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can hate it, but it was the quickest thing to do right away. And then he said that, like the tweet that I showed you earlier, there's going to be a lot of things that you guys are going to hate, a lot of things that they're going to fail at, but they're going to keep the things that work. So it's going to be a constantly evolving thing, right? So some very, very interesting things. I'm enjoying using Twitter, and I am excited. I'm excited to see what happens with their monetization game, because I'm sick of YouTube's bullshit. I honestly am. YouTube, what's up? Just saying. But I'm sick of your bullshit. I really do want competition for YouTube. And for the longest time, I was really hoping that it was going to be Amazon. But Amazon just doesn't do it for me. I don't care enough. I know there's people that go out there and they do the Amazon Lives and they're on Twitch. And there's a lot of people that make a very successful living off that stuff. It just doesn't appeal to me. But something about what's happening at Twitter gives me hope. Mm-hmm. So one thing is that the future of Twitter being more of a Web3 system when it comes to payments and being able to deal with people financially anywhere in the world through cryptocurrency is intriguing to me. Now, in hopes that you can also deal with monetization and potentially earning a living through cryptocurrency on a platform like Twitter is also intriguing to me. Mm-hmm. Could you choose to get your payments in Bitcoin, Dogecoin, something, instead of just getting it in $1? Could you choose to get a percentage in a cryptocurrency and the rest in $1? Like, that sounds pretty cool to me. Yeah. Can you imagine if YouTube gave you the option to earn 30% of your AdSense in Bitcoin and the rest in USD?
That'd be nice.
Would be pretty cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, these are all things that I could see them talking about down the road, and it gets me excited.
Yeah, I like it. If I can get crypto, that'd be nice. Get some more crypto.
So there's just a lot of interesting things that I can see happening, and it gets me excited for this kind of stuff. And like I said, there's going to be a lot of explosions. Twitter is going to go through a lot of stages where it's going to cost them a lot of money, because they're going to invest and invest and investigate a lot of different ways to do things that isn't going to work, right? They're going to have to build things from the ground up, from scratch. And sometimes building things from the ground up gets scrapped so that you can partner with other companies that already have systems in place for integration, right? Like, for instance, I've talked about on my channel, Fubo TV, and Fubo TV was building a sports streaming service with betting built in, and they were building it from scratch. And then they said, you know what, it costs too much money. We're going to scratch that, and we're going to partner with another company. And then they scratch that again. So it's like you're investing all this money into development and it's not necessarily working. So you got to keep reinventing yourself. And it all comes down to, are you running the business as efficiently as you can so that you can make those pivots? And the first thing that he did was he started saving the company $4 million a day. Like, it's give and take. You got to do these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at on this whole thing. I think that there's going to be a lot of interesting give and take, because the advisory team needs to be built from scratch. And we've talked many times in the past about the YouTube advisory team and how they've sued YouTube, or they've had to go on like PTSD stuff because of the shit that they've had to watch, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, there's some really interesting people that have verified accounts on Twitter. I'm talking like members of the Taliban and like all kinds of crazy stuff. Al Qaeda. Like, I'm not throwing no political things anywhere, but there's a lot of interesting people that have a Twitter account with a very large following. So there's got to be some kind of monitoring.
Well, it's funny how you're saying that, because it's like, you know, we see it on YouTube too, where it's just like, how are these accounts like it goes against your policies and you're still here.
Started
Like
from the
there's
bottom, man. I'm here.
yeah. Um, I think, I don't know, like right now I was looking at the second article about Musk to meet with Twitter advertisers after the name and shame warning.
Yeah.
And when you said that the advertisers were going to pulling out, some are just pulling out. You know, YouTube went in a similar thing where they lost advertisers because of, you know, either copywritten content or just content that was being put up there because their policies were so loose before. And you know, we had that adpocalypse shit that was just coming out, and we know YouTube did lose a lot of money. They had to go through this thing. Right now, just looking at some of the changes that is about to happen, I think this is like, I don't know, YouTube kind of like bent backwards to try to get some advertisers back. I don't think Elon Musk is going to do that. I think Elon Musk is going to say, cool, if you're going to go, then go. But if you're going to come back, guess what? It's probably going to cost you more money, or we're going to get more money out of you, or I don't know, something. But this says the billionaire owner had threatened a thermonuclear name and shame campaign against advertisers that abandoned the platform. What does that tell you? Like, what do you think he's going to do?
Hey, I think that this guy's got so much money that he could just advertise his own companies and use it as an expense and claim it on his taxes.
Yeah. Which would be the smarter thing, because yeah, he does own a lot of stuff, and I'm pretty sure like, hey, I can get a tax write-off for,
and he's got a lot of friends. Like, if he just made it an advertising platform for just his friends in the industry, in the industries,
yeah,
he could support the whole platform. Oh, I wanted to show you this too. This was pretty funny. So Stephen King, you know who Stephen King is?
of course.
So Stephen King says, let me make this a little bigger so you can read it. He says $20 a month to keep my blue check mark. F that. They should pay me. If that gets instituted, I'm gone. I'm gone like Enron. And then Elon responded to him and says, we need to pay the bill somehow. Twitter cannot rely entirely on advertisers. How about $8? So that's how we got to the $8 for the blue check mark. So this was actually, so he's listening to the influencers with big following on the platform, and he's kind of like feeling out what people are saying, and he's kind of doing this on the fly. Interesting, right?
Yeah, but even then, like, Elon Musk saying like, we can't rely on advertisers. I don't care what you do with the blue check as long as you vote blue. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I think with advertisers, because you know, they make a lot of money with these advertisers, and I get it, you got to pay. Man, he's really going back and forth with Elon
Right?
Musk, huh?
Yo, he's going at him.
He's gonna write a book about him too, probably.
Well, he compared him to Tom Sawyer.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I think for me personally, like, these advertisers make so much money, and maybe it is a way of like YouTube, how we create content, and then that content, there's advertisements. And I think that's what Instagram's doing. As people are using their music and all that stuff, you see ads popping in and out. Yeah, I don't know. I think these social media platforms, they need to run off of ads. because once you start charging, and I get it, some people will pay for this stuff. They'll pay for that blue check mark. They're like, whatever, $8 a month, I'll pay for it.
Well, if it's a business, then it's a business expense.
Yeah, but see, but that's part of the problem though. When people say like, yes, I'm gonna pay for this blue check mark, even if it is a business expense, um, what does that blue check mark actually really even do?
Okay, so I'm
You
not
know what
saying
I
that I
mean?
want to pay for a blue check mark because, like I said in the beginning of this, I think that we should be getting that as something that we earn, right?
Right.
But what does that give me? It gives me the peace of mind that the people who are looking for me have found me. Because you've seen it when we talk about crypto on this channel. What are the comments down below? Oh, go check out this person. And there's imposters and there's this and there's that.
Mhm.
Don't F with those people. Just look at me because I have my blue check mark. So it's almost like a protection for the people that are looking for me, that are following me.
Yeah, see, and I think that needs to be like a criteria. But even then, even if you have like 100,000 subscribers or 100,000 followers or whatever it is, and people are following you, watching you, interacting with you, for me, I almost think like that's enough. Like, hey, I'm already on all these social platforms. The blue check mark is kind of like a, I don't know. It's kind of I it's like it's like kind of want it's like you want to be part of the cool kids, like, oh, I want a blue check mark, like they got a blue check mark, I want a blue check mark, or I want a whatever check mark, or I want to be verified, or I want to, like, I don't know, to me it's kind of like if you build a platform, like on YouTube, when I got my channel all the way out to like 100,000, people already knew the Cody Tutorials brand or the Rohas brand. They already, it was like a like when people say like, oh yeah, like, and I'm gonna name some of the old school people like Joe Nobody or Husham or Target or um I don't know, like any of those older people that were there doing this stuff way before we were back in the day. It's kind of like they've been around for so long and doing it for so long, and some of them never even got their check marks doing the same thing that they were doing before. Um, but it's kind of like, oh, it's this person. Oh yeah, I know that person. Oh, I know Next Level. Next Level was doing all those killer freaking, yeah, the best APK store ever. Like it's like, oh yeah, I know Rojas because he was actually teaching how to show like the guts within these add-ons within Kodi and how to build stuff like from scratch. Like it almost becomes like a household name where, I don't know, you go watch a movie and you see freaking Thor and you see Chris Hemsworth, you don't see a blue check mark on his forehead to solidify somebody that is a household name. So I think if you grow a platform, and yes, you're going to see those spam bots that say, go follow this person because this person knows more than you do, or whatever it is. But I think when somebody is building their platforms, and I think when somebody is it gets to a certain criteria, whatever that is, 10,000 followers, 100,000 followers, whatever it is, I think you become that household name that people already trust and rely. um and it's kind of like, cool, like me, I didn't have my blue check mark or my verified check mark when I hit 100,000. I had to wait a little bit longer too. I think I got it like at 130.
Yeah, but it's just now there's so many fake names that pretend to be you. So there has to be some kind of something that says this is me, that's not me.
Right, and I think paying an $8 doesn't solve that. I think if you grow your platform and you put content out and you make videos and it's
So
you, I think the verification process, I think it needs to be different. I think what needs to happen is, for one, you need to grow your platform. You need to have engagement of some sorts, and you have to have some kind of, I don't know. I think 100,000 subscribers for YouTube is stupid. I think it's to get the award is like, okay, you worked that hard to get to
well
there, great.
the rewards on YouTube are dumb in general, and I think that the rewards should actually be view based, not subscriber based.
Uh I kind of I can go both ways on that one. I can go both ways on that one because yeah, sometimes people don't follow you and they just watch your shit. I can go both ways on that. Um, I think with getting verified though, with because you know because there's check marks on I think every single social media platform. I think they all have them. I think what needs to happen is there needs to be some kind of either subscribers or views or whatever it is. And I think I don't know if YouTube does this or not. I forget. You know, I'm kind of starting all over with everything, but I think they need to do like, hey, you need to submit you need to submit proof of who you are to verify that you are a real person. And I think when you know, because Elon Musk is saying over here about these bots that are out there, they're trying to clean out these bots. I think when you create a burner account or when you create a bot account or any of that stuff, I think I think something needs to happen when you create that account to begin with. And I know okay, so when you sign up for some of these accounts, it says please verify your email address. That's not enough.
No, not in
Like
today's day and age.
yeah, that's not enough. That's definitely not enough. I think what needs to happen is they need to take a step further when it comes to these social media platforms where and I know somebody has to go through the list and verify and all that stuff and there's fake accounts being made all the time. But I think when an account gets created, I think there has to be a better vetting process. And I don't know if that means you need to post a video of who you are, or if you need to post, you need to fill out the entire like platform, like your bio or whatever it is. You need to submit some kind of ID of who you are.
And you know, it's interesting. Like a lot of times when we're signing up for these like crypto platforms, the verification for them has gotten really, really good for verifying us.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Some of them you actually have to do a video verification process.
Yep.
And that
Or
could
take a
be
picture.
like, yeah.
Take a picture with your finger on your nose and
Oh.
show your ID.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't disagree with you, but I actually think that it's a multifaceted thing. So I think that there has to be almost like a choose your own adventure. So if you are a content creator, the verification process looks different than if you are a business.
And see, I think with the paying thing, I think what the paying thing, what needs to happen is if somebody, okay, so if I go through the verification process and I submit all my stuff and they say, cool, we have all your information, kind of like Bitcoin or crypto or whatever, you have to submit your ID and all this shit and everything checks out, your social security, like all kinds of crap, whatever it is. If you check out and everything looks legit, once you get to a certain interaction process of views, subscribers, we know YouTube has like a combination, then you get monetized. It's like, cool, congratulations, you're monetized. I think the verification process, that check mark that says, yes, you are definitely verified, needs to happen before the monetization happens. If it's YouTube is 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time to get paid, I think the check mark needs to happen before that. Like, hey, you got up to 500 subscribers and you got to 2,000 hours of watch time.
You need to verify me before you pay me.
Yeah. It's like, cool, you're verified, you're this, you're this, you're this, you're cool, here's your check mark. Now you're halfway there. Now you get monetized. I think the $8
that makes sense.
You know, and I think the $8 a month, I think what that needs to happen is once you get to that verification process and you're verified, if that's the halfway point, or I think that needs to be either when you get monetized, like as the ultimate thing, like, you know, when we get monetized, it says, oh, you have super thanks available, or now you have live shows enabled, or you have whatever, like you have all these things enabled as you're working your way up to 1,000 subscribers. Right. I think that extra feature, that blue check mark, I think what it should be is exactly what YouTube's already doing. Instagram is starting to do this already. They should do some kind of membership where we say, hey, this is actually a business and I need extra tools. Like, give me something for my $8. Don't give me a stupid check mark. Give me something for that $8 that I'm going to pay for, because I need extra tools for, like, Instagram. I could actually set up a store. It costs a little bit of money, or I could set up some kind of membership to get like extra perks. YouTube, we have the members area where we have like private videos, private polls, private shows. Make it something like that where we have to pay that $8 to have this access. And if we get enough people that are paying for our subscriptions,
Right. There's a
or
rebate
whatever,
or whatever.
then it takes away, instead of us paying for it, almost those subscribers will cover that. And plus we also get a paycheck on top of that too.
Yeah.
I think that's what the process needs to be. So that way it's an incentive for us to be like, ooh, wait a minute. Okay, yeah. If I start this membership program, like if YouTube right now says, hey, guess what? The membership, we're going to add an extra feature. So that way you could boost a video. And it would be more, because I know if you could boost certain videos, so that way you get more views or more subscribers or whatever. If they say, hey, with these $8, we could actually show you exactly like more analytics. Give me a little bit more analytics that makes sense for us to make money. And if this could get washed out within our AdSense or membership program or whatever it is, the extra feature that they're doing, that would be an incentive for us to, like, I would jump all over that. I would be like, you know what? Yeah, this actually looks like it's worth it. You know what I mean? For me, I understand what you're saying, and I it's not like I don't agree with it. I agree that they need to have a better vetting process, especially with these bots. And that check mark says a lot, because these bots probably won't buy that blue check mark. But I think what will happen eventually is they might buy that blue check mark to be like, no, I am the real next level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Long rant. Sorry.
No. It makes sense. Like yeah, like there should be a way that you can work. The bottom line is that where would these platforms be without the creators? So there has to be incentives put in place for creators that want to build a home on these platforms.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't want to build a home on these platforms, then the platforms wouldn't exist. And yes, a lot of these platforms have been spoiled because lack of competition and lack of what's the word I'm looking for? Like progression, like
Evolution.
the competition, like evolution. That's right. Yeah, like that's what I'm looking for. So it's just, and then that's why I'm happy that Elon is involved in this field now, because of the lack of evolution. And you can feel however you want about Elon. One thing for sure is every single field he goes into, he disrupts it. And we need somebody to stir some shit up.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, I don't know. I know they said that they're in their early process of trying to figure it out, which is cool. Whatever, we're in the early process figuring all this shit out. And I think once they do figure it out, and I think and I'm pretty sure this isn't the first time somebody has come up with an idea like this or something similar to this, but if they did come up with something like this, that would be kind of cool. YouTube, with their membership program, like we have our members that people follow us and like to get the sneak peeks and the behind the scenes and all that stuff, and it's great. I'm actually, and I haven't said much about it because I had a lot of people ask me like, hey, are you going to kick off your membership program? I am actually. I'm going to kick it off, and I'm looking at, okay, what do I need to do? How do I do it? Where do I go? Which channel do I use? Do I use multiple channels? Like, I'm kind of like looking at all avenues. But I want to get it right off the bat, so that way when we start it, it has perks for it. It's not just like, hey, you get like a video. It's like, kind of what we were doing before. We had the perks where people did get the sneak peeks. We had the live shows doing tons of giveaways constantly. It was a constant thing. And a lot of people that were members were the ones that were benefiting from it, because yeah, anytime anybody subscribes to us and follow us and comments us, it helps the channel grow, and we will hook you guys up every now and then. We got to pay the bills too,
Yeah.
like we got to pay the bills too. So when people do say like, hey, I want your membership program, cool, guess what, some of these free products that I'm getting, we're going to throw it out there for you guys to get a much higher chance to win. And I know there was one year that I think everybody won something.
Yeah,
Like literally
everybody.
everybody won something. We did a massive end of the year giveaway and we spent freaking thousands of dollars. So tens of thousands of dollars now that I think about like how much the product costs, the shipping, like everything, time put in. So the biggest thing I would like to see, if Twitter does decide to do something like this, is having a way for whoever you're like, those little badges are cool, just like YouTube, the little badges are cool. I think what would be cool is if they have a way where we could enable ways for people to enter for giveaways, or ways to people to enter whatever it is that we want them to enter, like a subscription letter, like a newsletter, an email system thing, or like whatever it is for us to connect to our subscribers easier. And if that means on Twitter, it should be easy. If they subscribe to us, we should be able to have some kind of private group where everybody's chatting, kind of like Telegram. Or if we want to keep it private, it could be like, hey, Rojas just sent you, or Beyond the Streams just sent you this this notification, and it goes directly into the thing. Like if we sent it to them personally, it'll be nice if YouTube has that feature that says, Beyond the Streams just set up a I don't know, maybe a separate tab for giveaways. Make sure to enter, and then there's different ways of entering. Share the video, or like that video, or comment the video. Like there's so many avenues that they can take this, where like, yeah, $8, I'd be like, you know what, you guys could charge $10 or $20 like to do stuff like this. I'd pay for it, just because it will take care of my subscribers. My subscribers will take care of me, and everybody wins on that thing. So I don't know, like give me something like that, and I think a lot of people will go. I think a lot of people would go bananas on it. Like I think us as content creators have that incentive now to be like, hell yeah, let's do this and let's get creative with it. And just like what we had, like, dude, we had like over 100 freaking members on our platforms that were like gladly saying like, yeah, here, like let's help support. And what are we doing right back? Thank you. Now all this shit that we're getting, let's hook you guys up too with it. It gets us excited, and I think it'll get our subscribers excited to also follow along. And there's some people that don't understand because they can't think outside the box. Some people might say like, that's stupid, paying a membership program for a video or for whatever. And it's just like, no, we were doing actual giveaways and hooking up a shit ton of people.
Yeah.
A shit ton of people. We didn't ask them for money for even shipping. Like, no, you enter, you win, here. That's it. And people were loving it. And we weren't just giving away stupid stuff. We weren't saying like, oh, look, here's some batteries. We were like, no, hey, guess what? Let's give out a Fire Cube. Let's give away some Buzz TV products. Let's give away some earbuds. We were like on a roll. You know what I mean? I think that's where it needs to head to. I think if they do that, it'll be received. Shit. Maybe even Stephen King might jump on board and say like, you know what? Yeah, let me give you your $8. Let me set up this giveaway platform. People will then sign up to his membership program or subscription program, and I could win a free freaking book with his signature. Yeah, sign me up, please. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, so like that's just the thing. I think that it's about to be, social media shit's about to be disturbed.
Yeah,
and I'm here for it. So as of today of the recording, they've done the filing to get the approval for them to handle processing payments and stuff like that. So I think that's been approved. Let me just pull up the article real quick. It says the social media company has filed registration paperwork to pave the way for its process payments, according to the filing with the Treasury Department Financial Crimes Enforcement Unit, or FinCEN, which was obtained by the New York Times. The move comes as Musk seeks to transform Twitter after purchasing the company last month for $44 billion. So it's going to be another payment processing feature. I'm not going to say that Twitter is a payment processing website, because that's not the sole purpose of it, but it will have that feature, which is good. So yeah, I think this is all good. If you love them or hate them, this is good for the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited about it. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section. We're getting close to that hour already. We're like, yeah, this will be a short episode. And I know Cyclone's gonna be like, better not be another 30-minute freaking episode again.
Yeah, I got messages from him already on that.
Yeah, he's like, you guys better be posting a part 2 to this later tonight. What up, Cyclone? So we always we always try to get you guys some of this stuff here, some of the latest and greatest stuff here. There is a lot of stuff coming out, a lot of stuff that's happening. I think if they can come up with some cool stuff, cool features, YouTube has a long way to go to really make it exciting. It's cool and we make it exciting, but YouTube needs to be better with it. And I think Twitter, I think Elon Musk is going to think outside the box on this one, and I'm excited. But let us know in the comment section, or leave us a review wherever you're listening or watching us. Let us know what you guys think. If you guys would like to see something like this, like what is it that would get you guys excited about Twitter? What would you guys want? Like, how do you want this thing to evolve? I guess pretty much is what I'm trying to say. Is there anything else that you want to add to that next level?
I don't know. I really don't know. Like, what do they want to see? What kind of features would they want from the future next level social media platform? Like, are you guys happy with the status quo with what we have now? Do you think that you want YouTube to continue to be the biggest social media platform? And they're not. So here's the biggest thing. They were the biggest video platform, but when it came to social media, YouTube dropped the ball hard. Like, they have a community tab, they have a couple other things, but they never really tied it all together to make it into a real social media, because people always moved all the social media stuff or the content stuff outside of videos away from YouTube. And they really dropped the ball for making it an all-in-one encompassed platform. So do you want to see YouTube complete that full circle? Or do you want to see a new up-and-coming platform like Twitter do it better?
Yeah, I agree.
I guess with that being said, thank you guys for watching and listening to another episode of Beyond the Streams. We appreciate you guys, and make sure that you're leaving us a comment or review wherever you are watching or listening to us from, so other people like yourself can find the content that you enjoy. Make sure that you're also hitting that like and that subscribe button, and turning on the notification bell, because you never know where the conversation is going to go or who we're going to have on. So we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.